This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
In the healthcare debate of benefits and wait times, there have been a lot of comparisons with our neighbors to the north. In fact, Dr. Brian Day is a former president of the Canadian Medical Association and was once quoted as saying, "This is a country in which dogs can get a hip replacement in under a week and in which humans can wait 2 to 3 years.
Now, while Dr. Day couldn't give a source for his claim of having to wait for 2 to 3 years, the Canadian Health Coalition had an answer for him. Access to veterinary care for animals is based on ability to pay. Dogs are put down if their owners can't pay. However, in the United States, wait times for health care have been an issue for a very long time.
And according to statistics based on 870,000 physicians' offices from doctor review site vitals.com, the shortest average wait time in the doctor's office in 2011 was in Wisconsin at just over 15 minutes. The shortest 2012 average wait time was over a minute longer in Alaska. The longest average wait time last year was over 25 minutes, and that was in Mississippi.
Those are average times. So odds are you've waited in your doctor's office for a lot longer than that. So what can you do about playing the waiting game at your doctor's office? In today's Angie's List report, there are some things you can do to improve your wait times. Breast cancer survivor Doris Webb spent an hour in the waiting room for a doctor's appointment she made a year in advance.
They finally put me in a room, and I told her when she put me in there, I said, I'll wait 10 more minutes because I've been here an hour. And in 10 minutes, I still hadn't seen the oncologist. So I went out front and asked for my copay back and told him I had waited long enough.
A nationwide Angie's List poll found Webb was not alone in her experience.
We did a recent Angie's List poll, and 65% of the respondents said they'd waited an hour or more to see a healthcare professional. But what was more alarming in the poll was that 37% of them, when they got in to see the doctor, actually felt rushed and didn't ask the questions they probably should have, which just means they're probably not getting the care that they really need.
And those times could get worse. Many healthcare experts and providers tell Angie's List they expect wait times to increase. The problem, not enough doctors to meet the demands of more patients.
There was no apology, but one of their employees had told me that they were triple booked that day.
But Angie Hicks says there are steps you can take to help you and your family stay healthy and on schedule.
The poll also found that 70% of the respondents didn't know ahead of time that their doctor was running late, and 55% didn't receive an apology that they were running late. So the key here is to check in with the doctor's office before you show up. Find out whether they're running late so that you can adjust your schedule as well. Additionally, ask if there's any paperwork that's going to be needed to fill out ahead of time, because you could do that maybe from home so that you're not spending your time in the waiting room.
Sometimes people can feel like the personal touch has been lost.
Well, you just feel like you're a number. I didn't feel like I was getting good patient care. How could you if they were triple booked?
But there's something you can do before you get to the waiting room.
Preventative care is the key to good health, so you don't want to skip going to the doctor, but when you are scheduling, plan ahead. If you can, see if you can get into the doctor first thing in the morning. Right at the beginning of the day, they can't be behind. Additionally, right after lunch is a good spot because they've taken a break and likely have caught up. Also, if you're finding it hard to get in to see your doctor, they might have a nurse practitioner that can help with everyday routine issues.
Bottom line, Angie's List says there's really only one person you can count on.
We're our own advocate, and if we don't step up and demand treatment and care, and that they be responsible, then we can't expect better.
Angie's List suggests that you treat health care just like any other hiring decision. If you're still having problems after talking to your doctor, find a new one. There are a lot of great healthcare providers available.
And one thing that could be making your wait time worse, the same number of doctors, now with 30 million more patients thanks to the new healthcare law.
So what can you say? What can you do to try to avoid playing the waiting game in your doctor's office? Well, joining us this afternoon to try to answer those questions are Connie Cooper and Sharita Fagan from Peninsula Regional Oncology and Hematology in Salisbury. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, you guys, one of the things that you're trying to move things along with and make it better is called the LEAN program. The LEAN program has been defined like this, is defined by lean.org, to maximize customer value while minimizing waste simply Lean means creating more value for customers with fewer resources. So we're talking customer satisfaction. And you guys have worked this concept. How are you applying it in your office?
We have previously done for our checkout. That's another area that we had long waits. And we applied that a few months ago, and we were at 14 to 15 minutes for checkout on the average. We have reduced that time 5 minutes or less when patients are checking out.
That's great. And you're looking to moving forward and trying?
Yes, we're also in the process of setting up performance improvement, we call it, for check-in, for patients when they're coming in to check in to see their physician. So that's actually our next step, to improve wait times there as well.
And Jarita, is it possible for us to actually call ahead, like they had mentioned, and see if our doctor is running late?
Certainly. We would like for patients to, you can give us a call. If we're running behind, we'll certainly let you know that. We do, though, encourage that you maintain that scheduled visit time, because it could very well be that once you present in the office, your doctor has caught up. Certainly when you arrive, the staff there will let you know what your doctor's schedule is like in terms of wait times.
But just because you call ahead and the doctor may be running 10 minutes late, that doesn't mean I can show up 10 minutes late.
Right. Again, we encourage you to show up at your scheduled time, because there are other things that our patients have to get done prior to seeing the physician. Many times it's having labs drawn and that's
Right, right.
So if a person wants to be proactive in what they're doing, is there something they can do ahead of time to help avoid those delays?
Certainly. I would say be sure to let the physician and staff know if you have any special needs. Certainly when patients come, the visit not only impacts the patient, sometimes it's family members that have to bring the patient into the office and may need to be off at a certain hour. So be sure to let us know, and we certainly work to accommodate your schedules.
Connie, do patients have a choice if their primary care provider can't be there at a time that they can?
Yes, absolutely. We have situations where the primary care provider is not there and they're having to come back, because most of our patients have to come back on a regular basis. So when they go to check out, and if they have a preference of one of the other physicians, maybe they've seen them before, then and they like them, so we do everything we can to accommodate for them seeing that physician. To reduce the we have several physicians, so we reduce the amount of physicians that they see over a given amount of time. So that way, if they have a preference, we do that.
So a lot of times people are comfortable with their own physician, but sometimes in an office there's a physician's assistant. It sounds terrible to ask, but I'm going to try to ask this as gracefully as I can. Do they know what they're doing? Can we trust our physician's assistants?
Well, our office does not use physician assistants, but to answer your question, certainly physician assistants are highly skilled, trained professionals and can certainly conduct a patient visit. But again, we use physicians in our office.
So the bottom line here is that we just need to work with our healthcare provider to cut down on those wait times. Is that right?
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
All right.
Connie, Sharita, thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you
for your
Thank
time
you.
this afternoon. Some great information there. Now, if you'd like to learn more about what we discussed today at Peninsula Regional Medical Center in Salisbury, all you have to do is go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab.
And still ahead on Delmarva Life, you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. Well, experts are now saying you are what you drink too. What drinks can not only quench your thirst, but they can also boost your brain.
And a walk to end Alzheimer's. It unites the entire community, family, friends, and coworkers. We're going to tell you how you can get involved and give you a sneak peek of a musical performance by Imagine.